Hey everybody, and welcome to another LEGO review on my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Marvel set called Dancing Groot. This is set number 76297, it comes with 459 pieces and is recommended for ages 10 and up. And we're going to start by taking a look at the face of Groot, which has these really adorable printed eyes found on the front here. LEGO also uses a pretty cool building technique to get the overall shape and design of Groot's mouth, and I think it looks absolutely adorable and gives the character a lot of personality and charm in my opinion. I did do a live stream of me building this set, and a couple of my viewers said the face of Groot looked a little strange and awkward, so I'd be curious to know what you think about it in the comments below. Taking a look at the top of Groot's head, you can see that there's some pretty good asymmetry going on, and I personally like this design choice as I feel like it makes the build feel a little bit more natural, and I also like the little bits of green pieces sprinkled throughout the top of Groot's head just to give it that little bit of extra color. And as we start to make our way around to the back of Groot's head, you can also see that there's a couple of green leaves, as well as a couple of different shades of brown, and you can also see that LEGO did a relatively good job tiling off the back of this build. And like I said, overall I'm a really big fan of its design. This set does include a pretty cool feature. If you take this piece here and remove it from the top of Groot's face, and then you can take that same piece and put it up one row of studs, which will give you 4 extra studs on the front of Groot's forehead that you can place these extra pieces that are included with this set. It is a relatively simple and straightforward process, and you can now see that Groot has a couple of clips on his forehead. And the purpose of those clips is you can take these sunglasses and place them on top of Groot's head. And again, this is a relatively straightforward process. You just take the sunglasses and snap them in place. And now you can see our little baby Groot has just a little bit of extra style and personality to him. Here's a little bit of a different angle with Groot wearing the sunglasses, and you can see that they fit onto his head rather nicely, and again, I just think it gives him a really cool aesthetic in my opinion. Moving around to the back of Groot's head again, you can see that there's also this brown piece here, and the purpose of that piece is you can take Groot's second accessory, which are these headphones, and place them on top of his head. And I will say that I do find the headphones to be a rather fragile build, but it is relatively easy to clip them on top of his head if you're careful. And here's a quick look at what Groot looks like when he's wearing both of his accessories, and again, I think he looks absolutely awesome. Now we're going to make our way down to the body of Groot, which has some pretty good detail on it as well. I really like the detail and creativity of the green whip pieces wrapped around Groot's body to represent vines, and you can also see that there's a couple of stickers on Groot's chest for that little bit of extra detail. There is also some extra green pieces to give the build a little bit more color, and you can also see that there is a light blue flower on top of that leaf on Groot's arm there. And as we start to make our way around to the back of Groot, you can also see that there are a couple of ball joints found in the extremities of the build, but we're going to get into the range of motion and posability of this set a little bit later. I do think that the back of this build is relatively well detailed, and it does a good job hiding the inner mechanics of the build. And if you look towards the bottom, you can also see that there is another sticker there as well. And overall, I feel like LEGO did a good job giving this set a lot of really cool detail, and there's not really a bad angle for this set when you're posing it on a shelf. Now we're going to talk about the range of motion and posability of this build. There is no ball joints in the shoulders, so they are completely flaccid, but there is a ball joint in the elbow of Groot here. There is also another ball joint in the wrist here, so you are able to get the arms into some pretty cool looking poses. And normally I would consider the lack of articulation in the shoulders to be a negative, but it is crucial in design for the dance play feature that we're going to be taking a look at in just a moment. But I do think that the articulation that this build has is rather good, and I'm also impressed with the stability of the vines when you're moving this set around. Now we're going to move down to the bottom of the build, which is meant to represent a white flower pot. You can also see that there's a sticker on the front for a little bit of detail. And I think LEGO did a good job with the overall shape of this part of the build. And I also appreciate how tiled off it is, as it just gives it a little bit more of a sleek and sharp design in my personal opinion. And as we make our way around to the back of the build, you can also see that there is a gray crank here, but we're going to be talking about that in just a minute. A really cool feature about the base of this build is you can actually remove part of it to reveal a secret storage component. I love when LEGO includes features like this, and I think it's pretty well done here. Inside of the storage component, there were a couple of pieces that you can change on the front of the build if you wanted to give it a little bit of a different design. There were also a couple of extra leaves and flowers inside of this part of the build that you can attach on top of Groot's head if you wanted to give a little bit more customization to the build overall. On the side of the flower pot, there's also this little clip that you can attach Groot's headphones to. And this is a rather simple inclusion, but I do like how it's implemented here, and I think it looks really cool when the headphones are hanging off the side here. And like I mentioned earlier, there is this gray crank that is found on the back of the build, and it can be easily rotated and moved around. And the purpose of this crank is if we take it and rotate it around, you can see that Groot is going to start moving back and forth. This is meant to represent Groot dancing, where the set gets its name from. And I think this is such a well implemented play feature, and I think it works really well and just gives a lot of charm to the build as a whole. Mix in this play feature with the posability in Groot's arms, and you can get him into some pretty cool dance poses. The Dancing Groot set retails for $45. However, I got this set at my local Target on sale for I think $35 to $40, I really can't remember. But I will say that if you're able to find this set on sale and you do like the price you see, I would recommend picking it up. I think it is a really solid build and has a lot of cute personality and charm to it. And again, I cannot emphasize enough how much I like that dancing feature. I want to thank you so much for watching my review, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more brick built reviews in the future.